Cabinet's National Security Committee will meet today to finalise plans for the secret rescue and repatriation of 16 women and 42 children left behind by Islamic State in Syria. Joining us live now is the National Senator Matt Canavan for his take. Senator, good to see you. So should the stranded women and children be brought back from Syria?
Well, what I want to know, Peter, is what level of assessment is being done here on an individual level. I am more than happy for Australians to help those other Australians that may have a good case for repatriation. But given the limited connections between our government, the Syrian government, given clearly our limited knowledge of what's going on in these camps, I don't think the federal government has done enough to assure Australians that they actually are making an assessment, as I say, on an individual basis of whether or not some of these people have travelled to an area that was illegal to do so, have been radicalised, and can they come back to Australia without threatening the security of other Australians? That has to be paramount, and I just don't think the government has outlined exactly the steps they're taking to protect Australians. A vague sort of commitment to say Australians' protection comes first is not good enough.
Okay. Well, the women have reportedly said that they will submit to monitoring, constant monitoring, the wearing of ankle bracelets, etc. Is that an acceptable alternative for now?
Well, look, I'd like, as I say, I'd like to see that sort of some sort of assessment done beforehand. What sort of intelligence do we have about the people that are coming back here? What have they been up to? Have they committed crimes in the Islamic State territories? I mean, this was a brutal medieval regime that devastated large parts of the Middle East, committed countless atrocities. There has to be, in my view, an assessment before the border, before they come home. And so I don't know what's exactly going on here. It's up to the government to disclose that.
Okay, but it does seem as though the government's moving ahead with it. If they've got to wear, these ankle bracelets and submit to constant monitoring, is that acceptable by you?
Well, as I said, no, I don't think it's enough. I want more reassurance exactly what's going on. As I said, the government keeps saying that, our paramount objective is the protection of Australians, but I'd like to see a lot more pre-border checks on this.
Well, what sort of checks? I mean, do you get psychologists in there to try and work out if trauma is so deep-seated that radicalisation is a real risk and exposes a national security problem here?
Intelligence. Peter, it's the same kind of intelligence we'd always get. Presumably there's some ability here. I'm sure our intelligence organisations, through our Five Eye partners, do have some idea about who's been up to what in these areas, and are we using that intelligence, all kind of intelligence, or are we just taking everybody in whole as bowlers? That's what I'm concerned about.